Hey guys, it's Matt from EBMX here. Just wanted to run through some of our batteries with you guys. So everybody's well familiar with the stock battery. Some people love it, some people hate it. If you've got a new motor controller and you've upgraded your power, I'm sure you found the limitations this thing has. It does all right on a stock battery, but when you start bumping the power up with a new controller, it really falls by the wayside. It's not able to put out the power, and it just doesn't have the capacity. So what we did at EBMX was we came up with a new range of batteries. Today we're just talking about 72 volt batteries. We've got the 72 volt 42 amp hour battery. So this has been a power horse that we've had out for a while. We sold over 1,000 of these batteries around the world. They've been performing very well, very robust. They're sealed, they're potted, they use pouch cells, and they're a massively powerful battery. These cells can discharge at 300 amps continuous, which is more power than any of us could ever get out of a Sur-Ron motor. But what we wanted to talk to you about was a new product we're bringing out now. So if I can lift it onto the table here. Here she is. What a beauty. Oh wait, this is a Sur-Ron Storm battery, sorry. What a beast. Oh. This is the new EBMX battery. So 72 volt, 57 amp hours. This battery, a little bit different construction than our 42 amp hour one. We took the BMS and put it on the back side so we could use bigger pouch cells. And we've actually achieved the same power density nearly as the Sur-Ron Storm battery, which is easily twice as big, and it weighs 10 kilos more. This Sur-Ron Storm battery is 4.3 kilowatt hours. The EBMX battery is 4.1 kilowatt hours, which is just amazing, you guys. Like, to have nearly the power of this in this size is going to extend ride times by another couple of hours. This thing is huge. And weight-wise, 24 kilos. This guy's 35 kilos. When you look at this compared to a stock battery, it's not that much bigger. And power density-wise, it has 113% more power in this thing. It's absolutely huge. This is the EBMX 72 volt 57 amp hour. It's a brand new offering that we have for everybody. It's absolutely massive battery as capacity goes, but size-wise is actually quite small in comparison to the Sur-Ron Storm battery here. So just turn it around, let you guys sort of see the size comparison here. Now, it's a different voltage, but what we're trying to compare is kilowatt hours as battery capacity. So the capacity inside of this battery is 4.3 kilowatt hours here. In comparison to that, a regular 60 volt 32 amp hour Sur-Ron battery for the Light B is 1.9 kilowatt hours. So obviously more than double the size, absolutely massive. Now this is our new battery here. You can see it's significantly smaller. We're only actually sitting at 4.1 kilowatt hours. So it's nearly the same capacity as this massive thing here. The reason we can get away with that is we're using pouch cells. So this Sur-Ron Storm battery has got your 18650 cells, a whole bunch of them stacked in there. It's not really the most efficient way to have power. What we've done by taking the BMS, putting it on the back side of the battery, we've left room for pouch cells to go in there. Now these are some of the cells that are in some of the other batteries we have, the smaller ones, so they're not the same height as the ones inside of here, but it gives you an idea when you look of how the energy density is in these batteries, how tightly we can stack these together, and how we can just pack all that power in there. So these things are massively power heavy. Weight-wise, they're 24 kilos, whereas a Sur-Ron Storm battery is 35 kilos. So smaller, nearly the same amount of power. It's an awesome combo, and they fit straight into the Sur-Ron when we have our seat extenders in there. This thing will extend your range from, you know, going on a ride with a stock battery where you might get 2 hours. You'll be going for 4, 5, 6 hours, depending on the type of riding you're doing with this battery. Inside of the battery, to get the power out of here, we're using the same type of pouch cells that we use in our other batteries. They're just a little bit taller. As I said, we put the BMS off the back side here, so we don't have to worry about a BMS sitting on top of the battery. The stock battery has one up top here. Our other battery has one up top here. With this battery, we've got cells that are running all the way up to the top, which is how we got 57 amp hours out of it. Obviously, the stock batteries are using cylindrical cells, and it's really limiting for the stock battery as well as the Storm battery. It's just not the greatest way to fit energy density into a small space. And a lot of the cells that are used in the market are just limiting power-wise. These cells that we're using, like I had said before, are able to discharge 300 amps continuous and give you more power than you would ever need without worrying about really taxing the battery, the cell, or worrying about any sort of heat issues. All right, guys, I wanted to talk to you about some of the testing we do with these batteries. So when we test these batteries in the factory and the first couple we've had for testing in the field, we've put them through all the hardest riding tests we can do, hard enduro, beating the bikes up. This battery's been out now. Nick and I have been out testing this thing in the hills in New South Wales. We've put on some new decals, so they're nice and shiny again. But we've taken this thing on enduro rides and pushed it as hard as we can. We can only push so hard inside of a bike though, and we need some mechanical aids to try to help us test a bit further. So we've taken the batteries to a university. They've got a testing machine that's used for vibration testing, for componentry, for batteries, for anything to try to shake it and break it. So we asked them, how high can we set this machine? We want to make sure that these batteries are going to be shaken as hard as they can. It's pretty violent when you're off-road on a motorcycle. They said that we can sort of ramp it up to 250% of what a normal test is. So we said, yep, let's do that. They have a setting that's basically going to ramp from 5 vibrations a second to 200 vibrations a second and sort of fluctuates in between those. And we ran that for 10 minutes at 2.5 times what a normal test would be. And we didn't have any failures. We've run about, I think, 25 batteries through those tests and strapped them on. We haven't had a single failure. We can monitor the BMS activity the whole time. The cells aren't fluctuating, voltages aren't dropping, nothing is changing, which just goes to show these batteries are fully potted. They're used a 2-part compound that cures extremely slowly, so it doesn't discharge any heat. The batteries are put into the cases when there's probably about a quarter of the battery filled with a potting compound. Battery is put in, the battery is put onto a vibrating shelf, it's shaken, and then it's topped up the rest of the way. So if you were to, and I don't suggest it because you avoid your warranty, if you were to open the top of this case, you just see a flat level of potting compound. With the newer batteries, unlike these batteries with the BMS off the backside, the BMS is actually fully encased in that as well. All your cell connections, all of your little wire connections, everything is encased in potting compound, so there's not a chance for anything to move. Another change we have over the batteries that we had here previously, you were able to adjust these displays to switch between voltages, which we found during shipping sometimes those might change and we'd help people reset them. These ones have a very similar display. There's a single button. It'll shift between telling you what your percentage is of charge. It'll change to tell you what your voltage is, and it'll turn itself off. They're completely fixed, so there's nothing you guys have to worry about. They will never change. If you ever have any issues with them, you just need to contact us. Please don't ever open them. These are fully sealed batteries. They should never need to be touched. And I think these batteries, these cells that we have in here are rated at 1,000 charge cycles for 80% capacity. So these are good, depending on how much you ride, for 5 to 10 years of riding before you'd even hit 80% of the capacity of these cells. Out on the trails doing some real world testing with these batteries. We've been out on quite a few rides now. These things have performed past our expectations. So just yesterday we were out riding. We went out for an hour and a half. We went 17 kilometers. It was hard enduro riding, slow, rocky, rooty, really tough sort of riding, pretty taxing on the bikes, running sort of mid-power modes and really just sort of pushing it. We came back, got to the car, and we had 71% in this battery left. If you forecast that out, that's a 6-hour ride with a battery on a Sur-Ron that fits into a stock bike with seat extenders, which is just absolutely insane. Now, it's a big battery, but it's not really that big when you look at one like this. This is a massive battery as well, but the new battery is actually even shorter than the 42 amp hour 72 volt because of that BMS sitting off the backside. So power density in this battery is off the charts. To get our new eBMX 72 volt 57 amp hour battery into the bike, the only thing that needs to be modified on your bike from stock is a pair of seat extenders. Now, showed you what they look like in the case there. Come on over, they're on the bike here. Simple bolt up, everything comes in the box like we showed, and that's all you need. That's it. This is a stock bike. It has seat extenders on it, and it's got a stock battery in it. So lid closes, stock clip. We have our extension on up here. Goes down, nice and easy. Battery comes out as it would. I'm going to come over and grab the 72 volt. Now, just pulled that one out. Here's the 72 volt, 57 amp hour. Let's set this down. Boom, straight down into place. Same clip, same lid, in the same place. 112% more capacity now. Hopefully that's all you guys need to know about these batteries. If you have any more questions, hit us up on social media and we'll answer them straight away. From here, you guys, these batteries are in production already. We're taking orders at every eBMX dealer, so get your guys' orders in and you can get one of these as soon as they're ready.